Hello, and welcome to this little talk about the new earth, the new world, and the rising right now. Right now, the vibration is rising all over in the earth field, all over in the joint community of consciousness. So the huge consciousness fields, they are rising in vibration, and this can make you have a reaction that feels like that you are having a lower vibration. In this little video, I will support you, if you want, with a healing that helps you to be stabilized in this rising in the earth community consciousness fields in a way that suits your consciousness field the best. And you could just put your intention on receiving this healing. Every single one of us is a part of this rising and this shift into consciousness state, a shift that opens to the new world, the new earth. And what does that mean? Actually, nobody knows. When I speak to the guides, the cosmic beings that talks about this, all of them tells me that a lot of consciousness is looking at us right now, is really aware and supporting us in this shift, but nobody really knows what we will do with it. It's expected that the rise in consciousness will help us to go into a new world, a new era, a new way of being, where we will use our consciousness to know. And when we know and we are using our knowingness, we will access the possibility to be aware and take care. When we are aware and don't take care of what we can take care of, we will close down our consciousness to a lower state. And this has happened in thousands of years. So what opens right now is a shift where we will go into the possibility of being aware and take care. And maybe you're already recognizing this, that you begin to see things and suddenly know that you can do something. After maybe a long time recognizing that you can see things that should be handled, somebody should do something, somebody should say something, and you realize that, yeah, now I can do something. And you have the nerve and the ability and the energy to do it. Then you are recognized, and then you are entering into this new state, this new era, this new world, the new earth. What will we do with it? It is it's foreseen that we will use it to be responsible in a way that have never existed in the universe. And the responsibility we will take will be opened in all the layers of consciousness. That means that we will be aware and taking care in our lowermost part of our consciousness and the highermost part of the consciousness and every layer between. And this has not been possible in any creature in the universe until now. Because if a creature has opened to the possibility to be responsible in the higher layers, they have been losing the responsibility in the lower layers, and the opposite way around. But Here on earth, we exist in a multiple ways, and every single kind of way of being responsible and irresponsible as well is present. And if this shift, this awakening is open to the highest perspective, then we will mutually learn by each other's responsibility and mirror it into our own way. And this is what's happening right now. And it gives a shift that is higher the vibrations, but because this is working in all our system, the layers where we have had difficulties with these responsibilities in our lives, they are activated. When they are activated, it can feel like getting heavy. It can feel like being sad, and even like being in contact with more sadness that you can express or explain due to what happens in your own life. If you have this recognition of being in contact with so much sadness that it's much more than you could explain in your own life, then you are accessing this work that's about exchanging and opening to the cleansing of all the layers in earth field. And if this is happening, you should know that you're suitable for it. You can handle it. You're trained to do this. Due to all what have happened in your life, you will only get access to be a part of this cleansing if you are prepared for it. This healing that you will have access to through this video helps you to get into your state where you are aligned, and in this aligned state, it will be possible for you to change your own vibration. So if you're carrying this sadness and it makes you feel heavy and low in vibration, you can make the decision. I will still be in contact with this sorrow, this pain, because I'm a part of the cleaning group, the cleansing group, but I will rise my vibration to the highest possible state to ensure that I thrive and have access to all my consciousness, all my abilities, even though I'm in this work, at this work, as a part of the cleansing group right now. And if this makes sense to you, you might be a part of this group. If it doesn't make sense at all, this healing might support you anyway. And if the healing don't support you and it doesn't make sense, maybe this is not for you. Okay. So as the healing expands and goes deeper, right now you can choose to higher your vibration. And actually, my language skills is not that trained, so maybe it doesn't even call to higher your vibration, but I hope you know what I mean. That you make the decision, you put your intention into rise your vibration into the highest possible vibration that you can carry right now. And take a couple of deep breaths as you're holding the decision, you're holding the intention. And if you recognize a shift, This is something that you can use the next couple of weeks, because right now a lot of cleansing is going on. And even if you're not a part of the cleansing team, you might be one of the holders or one of the carrier of this pain and the sorrow. And then you will be also touched, moved by the cleansing. So nobody really know what will happen, what will we do with this new possibilities, with entering into this new world, the new era, the new earth. What will happen if we are entering into this greater possibilities for being responsible, every single one of us, and we will share our possibilities for responsibility among each other. We will join our forces, we will join our wisdom through love and begin to create solutions that is holding and lifting everything into making sense. So if we should look for a calibration curve, a way of measuring this shift in consciousness, we should look for making sense. So making sense and lifting everything in a way that makes sense. And this way of making sense is a multi-dimensional way. That means that if you look at this decision and it makes sense in one way, it makes sense in any way. Oh, but this can't be, this is not possible. No, with our old way, with our old consciousness, we can't see these possibilities. It's not here, it's not present. It's not manifested yet, but it's beginning slowly. And a lot of old ways have to disappear, but it will disappear in a way that makes sense. So because that's the movement, that's the force that brings the movement in. It's the making sense force. So if it's a making sense force that's driving this shift, then we should look for everything that makes sense. And right now, it could be difficult because we're still living in an old world. We have lived in this old world. Our ancestors have been living in this old world. All our consciousness is related to this old world, but a help is clinging in, and that's the soul knowingness, the cosmic knowingness that's opening. So when you're in to this maybe feeling low and you put your intention, you make the decision, I will lift my vibration to the highest possible vibration right now. And when you make this happen, then in this state, you begin to look in your surroundings and in the things that comes by you have to take care of. And you will experience small shifts in the beginning of recognizing possibilities to do things in a way that makes more sense. Solutions that pops up by themselves without your thinking about it. This is your sign or your recognition actually of the first shift in your consciousness. And if you look in your surrounding and you are from this state, this higher vibrational state, you recognize slow movements in ways that makes more sense. You recognize it in your surroundings as well. And every time you recognize it, you helps the manifest of it in the consciousness fields. Being aware, being awake. And even though it's hard, and it's hard being in contact with the sorrow and the pain, being a part of the cleansing team or the carrier or the ones that get access, it's also a work that your soul is really motivated and dedicated to. And when you are higher in your vibrational state, you will be able to get in contact with this motivation and this dedication. And this motivation and dedication for cleansing all this pain, all this suffering, open to the higher vibrational states, the making sense movement in the consciousness on earth, and being a part of this shift, being in contact with the soul, dedication, this fuel for being here, this fuel for being aware. And we need this fuel because being aware and being activated in this work, it uses a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy. But if you help yourself to be in contact with your soul motivation, your soul dedication to this work, you will have so much energy available that you will not recognize the heaviness in this world, in this work. And maybe you're not a part of this team and you're having a tremendous time right now. Then you hold the field for the teams that works for this. And we are so happy for your work, having a tremendous every day and lifting the vibrations in our mutual fields. Thank you for that. It's so good. So everybody is participating. Everybody is in here. Everybody is a part of it right now, and more joins in an aware way. Somebody like we do here, working with the energies and using the mentally possibilities for shift and energy and access and everything. This spiritual senses and the knowingness of everything, all that is. Some of us work with this, but also in all over the world, people making decisions, working with opening to the make sense movement they're in. And even though somebody is like, oh, I don't want this making sense. This is strange. We don't want this change. It used to be insane. We want it to be like it's always been. Being more and more grumpy, dragging in all the energies and being negative. They are also a part of it. They are making a movement in the energies field that ensure that all comes up. And if it goes like it's foreseen, in some time, everybody will join the shift, the makes more sense shift, in their own way when they're ready. And until everybody is ready, they're still joining the work, no matter how. And a small part is kind of sleeping. And it's the people who hurts other people, they're still sleeping. If enough people are awakening, even the sleeping ones will begin to awake. And that's my hope. And that's something I foreseen that will happen. And I hope this, I hold this vision in my work every day. And it's a bitsy part of this mutual work in the global field to the change into the new earth that's going on right now. With this little help, this little healing, this little help for the shift. And even though it's right now, if you see this in a month or two, it's still right now. It comes in waves, and different teams opens in the different waves. So this shift with the releasing and cleansing the pain and the suffering, it continues for a while. So even if you recognize this is here and now it's disappearing, oh, what a relief, oh, now it comes back, what is wrong, then you might just be on several shifts. So a little help from here and a little talk about this shift into the new world, the new earth. It's called a lot of things. Thank you for this meeting. See you.